record this. So I stepped away to put away groceries for a second, and I will admit, I think it would be hilarious if he died of natural causes while I was just kind of sitting around here. You could do that in, Metal Gear Solid 3. There was a boss that was like 100 years old or something like that, to the point where he's like, he literally photosynthesizes, I believe, was like the, was like part of the lore behind him, which was really amusing. And if you left your save, like during the boss fight, if you saved your game and came back like 2 weeks later, the end. If you came back 2 weeks later, he'd just die of old age. And then you wouldn't have to fight him at all, which was kind of magic. And I've always wanted another game to do that. What is going on? Okay, that was confusing.
Quarantine is not a bad idea, medically speaking. But I'm convinced this epidemic will not be contained by mere walls.
As long as the right people are on the right side of the wall, that's all that matters.
But you can't guarantee infection will not spread. Just one contagious carrier would be enough to create an apocalypse.
The apocalypse is already knocking at the gate. We must be strong now.
What if a new outbreak happens inside your walls? You'll have created a giant trap.
That won't happen. As long as we dispose of anyone that is contaminated as soon as they are spotted.
Who gave you the right to decide the fate of thousands of people?
My money. My money and my pending immortality gives me the needed authority, Doctor. I'm a businessman. I'm used to tough decisions.
You're just kind of a dirtbag.
You really plan to build a quarantine wall across London?
Yes, it will be tall and strong, separating the wheat from the chaff.
Let me guess. You mean to isolate the rich from the poor?
This is a desperate measure for desperate times. England must prevail, Doctor, no matter the cost.
By doing so, you will also create two separate prisons.
Come, sir. An eminent doctor like yourself knows that such radical measures have proved efficient in the past.
I've heard enough. It's time to proceed.
At last. All right, do what you have to do. If it hurts, so be it. I've been preparing such a long time for this.
Turn. Sacrifice 2000 EXP. Embrace or charm.
Listen to me, Aloysius Dawson. You will forget your fear of dying, for it has poisoned your mind and made you bitter and ruthless since the death of your twin brother.
You don't understand. Death is oblivion, the eternal void. I know there's nothing there. I saw it in Robert's empty eyes. I saw myself in that coffin.
Death is painful for those who remain, not for those who have passed. All that occult gibberish you filled your head with has made you forget this simple truth.
No! Death will not claim me. I have the power and the money. I've acquired the arcane knowledge needed. I believe there is magic, there are dark forces. You will provide me my extension.
Your ignorance makes you a fool. You have no idea. Look at me. Hunted like a beast, my family lost, cursed. I have not escaped death, I have become it.
No, there must be a way. I don't want to go like my brother did. I have money, lots of money.
Money won't ease your mind. I know you used to be a good and generous man, so I offer you the gift of peace, Aloysius. The tranquility of a true death.
I accept your offer, and I understand. No more fear, I will die a man of dignity, and a man at peace.
Oh, hey, can I loot his body? Because there's a safe upstairs. No, I might have had to kill him. That's unfortunate. Anybody know? Because, yeah, there's a safe upstairs that I could maybe... Multiple safes, in fact.
It's locked, all right.
And I've only gotten into one safe so far in the game. Hey, thank you, Washipo, for the sub. Or the resub, I guess, really. Thank you for your kind patronage. This game is infecting my brain. For bad things. For bad things, for bad acting, for bad voices. Maybe. I don't know, it's good practice, I guess. I just end up looking like a monkey on the internet. Hello. Speaking of monkeys.
Is it done, Dr. Reid? Is Aloysius Dawson reborn, as expected?
I'm afraid Mr. Dawson finally chose to embrace life and death as a mortal.
What do you mean?
He has overcome his fear of dying. I let him rest and wait for death to come.
What? This is unacceptable. Go back there and make him the powerful Ekon he's destined to be.
No, Lord Redgrave. As a doctor and as an immortal, I can't. If you wish to make him your progeny, then proceed on your own.
This is an outrage beyond words. This is betrayal, pure and simple. I should kill you on the spot. You swore on William Marshall's blood.
Well, get rid of me then.
From now on, you're an outcast. Banished. You are forbidden to ever appear in front of us again. Ascalon will smite you on sight, and your heart will be thrown to the rats.
I'll leave you then. Have fun with your puppets and shadow plays, Lord Redgrave.
Yes, go, traitor, and take that awful creature, that counterfeit of a woman I saw waiting for you, and be gone!
Protect the Pembroke. Uh-oh. Okay, he's not dead, he dies later tonight after you've rested. That's not a spoiler, that's just how this works mechanically. I thought he died on the spot, considering he was just staring off into space, but no, that makes sense. Now that you mention it. But yeah, he is super pissed. Luckily, I don't give a damn about him. That does mean I'm gonna have to worry more about this. Oh, it's the skull.
We meet again at the strangest of times, young Ekon. So do you serve the Earl of Bristol now?
Old Brigid. What are you doing here?
Your friend, the wise Ekon. She sent me to warn you.
Did anyone see you? It's a long way from the dock sewers, and hunters are patrolling the streets here.
Who said I took the streets? How do you think I survived for centuries in this city without ever being seen? I know all her secrets.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
She came to us in the sewers in search of answers. Just as you did.
What kind of answers did you give her?
I knew nothing of your maker, but we talked. We talked a lot. Her words and ideas are captivating. It is no surprise that you like her. I like her too.
Lady Ashbury in the sewers? Now that's a sight I wish I'd seen.
She said she was your friend, and that she sought the identity of your maker. So I answered her questions.
Lady Ashbury? You know her? Tell me what's going on.
The lady approached me but a few nights ago, wanting to meet the sewer skulls. Once she questioned Harriet Jones. She agreed to help us.
Harriet Jones is still with you then? How is she doing?
Harriet remains angry, but is recovering slowly. Her mind is twisted, but at least her body is healing.
Tell me what is going on.
The lady asked us to keep an eye on your mortal doctor friend while you were away. We spotted the hunters. They were discussing plans to attack tonight.
Wait, slow down. I need to ask you something.
I'm listening, but I do not have time to waste, so be quick.
Why do I feel like Lord Redgrave was particularly irritated to see you? Far more so than the average skal, if I may say.
Because I used to know him quite well, and he is afraid I may remember who he really is.
You're Elizabeth's informant. You're the one who told her about Lord Redgrave's lies regarding his lineage.
Yes, but my words were not meant to hurt or threaten. I simply told the story of the sewer skulls, and of so many other forgotten children.
Where is Lady Ashbury right now?
She said she will go home. She needed to speak with some old friends first, though. Do not worry, young Ekon. She is no fool, and just as strong as you.
How did Elizabeth find you?
She presented herself humbly at our gate, and asked if we knew of any ancestral vampires hiding in London. She asked about Ascalon. She asked about many things.
What do you think of her?
Her soul is good, yet tainted with a deep sadness, and the scars of ancient wounds. Time does that to us immortals, for we have so much to dwell upon.
Why did she come to you?
I am Old Brigid, the buried memory of the city. She sought the silent truths, truths I have kept hidden for so long.
No time to lose, then. I must go there right away.
I shall return to my den. Have you a message for the lady? Should I see her before you?
Well, we need to talk. I worry about her or go full ham. What do you guys think? Full ham? I mean, we could kind of dance around it like we have been. The good doctor. The doctor goes full ham.
Yes. Tell her I love her.
Is this still unknown to her? Go now and take care, young Ekon, for the flames are rising.
See you. Full ham. So, this game actually does something that I really appreciate that most other games don't do. Which is very specifically... Oh, quarantine. No. Oh, this door does not open. Alright. Yeah. But no, it should. I guess it just won't. Ah, that sucks. Oh, we can just take the lower route around. Okay, so... one thing I really hate about action RPG... not action RPGs, story-based RPGs... is there's this very consistent trend to have multiple love interests over the course of the game. And it almost always...
You really thought you could betray Lord Redgrave without paying the price?
It almost always is really boring. Like... say what you want about... say what you want about, like... but say what you want about, like, Mass Effect and whatever. They were pretty good games. But I never enjoyed the romance in them. The only romance I enjoyed... oh, there, he's dead. The only romance I enjoyed in Mass Effect was the one that I wasn't a part of. For those of you that don't know, if you do it right, in Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, I think for the most part, I think you can even just do it in 3. You can actually get Garrus and Tali to hook up. And become a couple and stuff. And it's really, really cute. And... like, for the most part, you barely get to see it, but you're effectively just wingmanning really hard as Commander Shepard. And I really loved that because, yeah, sure, it wasn't exactly what I call canonical.
A lot of people are talking about this.
Or maybe it is, who knows? But it was... it felt more right than any of the other romances in the game. I personally went with whatever the Asari character's name was, but, like, Honestly, like, that was for the first game. And, like, when I was in high school. Shell doesn't appreciate my choices. She's a Tolly through and through.
Are you from Ascalon? I don't care!
But, so for me, I actually like romance in games because I can kind of separate myself out from it. But it needs to be good. And I never found the Mass Effect romance to be particularly good. Shell, you are lurking. Oh, okay. You are making me overheat. Real bad. Please don't do that.
For romance.
Never romance everyone. A lesson you learned from Persona 5 and multiple other games I've played recently.
No,
it never ends well.
I meant never romance anyone.
Yeah.
I prefer to see what the characters are like on their own.
Yeah. My problem is it always kind of weakens the game. Because they always have, like, you always have, like, the romance, and it's just, like, you always have the romance, and it's just like, well, this character's plot arc stops somewhere around where you can date them, and if you don't date them, then they're not interesting anymore, then they just become boring. And if you do date them, they also become boring, just slightly later, and it's just like, come on. Make them interesting characters through and through, or have there be one canonical romance and no others. That's my preferences. And so in this one, there's one canonical romance, and I rather like that. It's a little hammy, but it's cute. Yeah. Did I actually heal? I think dodging at the right time will actually cancel my heal, which is kind of interesting. Okay, there we go. Am I going the right way? I'm going the right way. It's funny, your wife always teases you when you try and skip past relation stuff in games. It feels so dumb, normally.
Show me how you defeated Fergal Buncher!
Okay, hopefully he'll follow me here. Will he not? Unfortunately, he's a solid 5 levels higher than me, which means I do not do damage to him. Luckily, I've got my infinite bloodstorm to more or less take care of it. Is that your only line, Lord Hammersley? Okay.
Die!
Let's get some blood off of him, if we can. I'm not actually sure how he can permanently hurt me. It might be his moves, it might be his, like, little ghost zombies.
Well. Show me how you defeated Fergal Buncher!
I really don't like the repeated lines. They are boring. Oh well, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. The combat in this is rather uninteresting, and the story's great. I like the combat better than most ARPGs, but it's not nearly as compelling as a lot of other games. Like, I would put this game just slightly below the Surge in terms of gameplay. It has some, like,
What is this truck? Are the vampire hunters here already?
like, it's the same classification as the Surge, a little bit below. The thing is, like, the combat just does, it feels awkward and needed to be deeper, and truly, desperately needed more enemy types. I think we've only run into about 6, and that's crippling as far as I'm concerned. That said, I would say I do rather enjoy the plot and the story and the characters and stuff. Like, talking and listening to this game feels real good. Not necessarily because
Those
it's the most riveting
bastards.
story.
What have they done to Edgar?
Yeah, it's not the most riveting story, but it's very well put together as far as I'm concerned. I just wish some of the, like, the side characters had more of an active hand in the plot, but since they're all killable, they can't.
McCallum and his thugs are taking the credit for Edgar's abduction. They really mean business.
Letter of Rakesh Chadana. Dear Dr. Swansea, I will be glad to manage the temporary morgue as soon as it is offered. As I have already told you, I was a doctor during the war, and I will be glad to serve my country again. I know it's not the same as being a physician for the dead, as it is for the living, but I believe it is important to come to welcome and take care of our departed too. Rest assured, I will do my best to fully perform this new duty to the best of my ability. Concerning the question of my qualifications, I'm sorry I can't give you anything more valuable than my parole. I swear to you that my regiment made me a doctor during the war, and that I saved many lives. My word is not enough. You can contact the military administration to verify my experience and skills. They will confirm that even if I never followed any medical studies, the war taught me what a doctor really needs to know. Interesting. So, not formally trained. I guess
Looks
we
like
should
he's
look at this.
wounded. I better follow the blood.
Let's see. Now I've got some EXP. Or no, that's that. So we've got this here, handprint. Oh, upstairs. We can finally go upstairs. Now, this is a lot of blood, by the way. Or are we going into the basement of the Pembroke? We might be going into the basement of the Pembroke. This game seems like it would be a good Netflix series. Honestly, I think this would have been a great game if they actually completely did away with the combat and just made it a visual novel. Like, it's weird. I don't like visual novels because they all tend to be like trashy dating sims or like extreme fan service. But after games like Pyre, I've actually really wanted to play more like good Western visual novels, and they don't really exist. Oh, this is a battle arena. Okay, I should sit up in the chair then.
Ultraviolet curtains and orichalcum powder. Dr. Swansea's always been a resourceful bastard. I bet he never told you he had this installed in case of a vampire attack. Says a lot about how much he trusts you.
What have you done with Edgar?
Don't worry. We don't kill humans. Even if your friend is deserving of a little punishment for what.
What are you talking about?
We know everything. Swansea and you created this bloody epidemic. You aim to unleash another disaster just like William Marshall did.
No, I'm trying to put an end to it. Just like you are.
You're the progeny, aren't you? Where is the monster hiding? It's still in England, isn't it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Jeffrey, please listen to me.
No tricks. That shit won't work on me. We've found proof in the theater. Doris Fletcher was your first experiment. Now where is Marshall? Speak! So much for modern technology. Time for the tried and true. Do you know what this is, Beast? This is a drop of King Arthur's blood. The blood of a true defender of Britain. Stronger than your evil powers.
This is ridiculous. We're losing precious time.
True enough. Soon I'll bring your head before your coward of a father. I know! It hurts, doesn't it?
Oh, this is hilarious.
pin you down!
Oh, this is really funny.
The blood of a true defender of this land will
I'm gonna
protect
have to get in
you.
there and
If
hit
you're
him at some
innocent,
point.
why does simple light burn you so much? Freewind prevails!
Okay. This is funny. So effectively,
True light will cleanse you!
my choice to go with the
Try something else.
ooh, he hurts. My choice to go with the blood
Close your
AoE
eyes.
that
This is gonna hurt.
the blood AoE that gives me blood back.
Your poisonous bite is useless.
That's a bit on the big side, but that's okay. Yeah, so I gotta worry about him a little bit, but I'm doing pretty good. I get the feeling he's gonna be eating all the, or drinking all this, like, King Arthur's blood, and is actually going to screw him over. Like,
Pin you down!
drinking other people's bloods, I mean, at the very least herpes, or other... who knows what kind of diseases? Oh, I'm burning. Oh, that's bad. Like, who knows what kind of diseases King Arthur had? Wasn't Lancelot, like, macking on his wife and stuff?
Show some style. Fight like a man.
Excuse me, I fight like a man with a crazy blood... He killed himself on it.
We are the guardian of justice. Priwen shall prevail.
You can't accept the fact we're not enemies, can you?
We always have been, and we always will be. Of all the evils that threaten mankind, your kind are the worst.
I'm not saying we could be friends, you and I. But perhaps we could collaborate to put an end to this epidemic.
Never! We are Priwen. We do not negotiate. We do not compromise.
There is no way you'll ever let me be, McCallum. You'll always hunt me down, won't you?
There is no escape, Leech. Kill me now. For there is no way you can sway me to your ideals.
That's where you're mistaken.
What do you mean?
I... turning him is a terrible idea. Yeah, you need to spare him to be the good doctor. So mainly, I didn't even think this was a possibility. And so, I could turn him into what he hates most, but this is a bad idea. It seems very wrong, for what I'm doing. Okay. So, I just wanted to look this up to see what would happen if you did turn him. So, to quote, "This is an extremely bad choice in which Jonathan Reid turns Jeffrey into a vampire. Interestingly, you'll meet up with him later in the game. He will give up his life as a vampire hunter." Huh. That's weird. It doesn't say why it's a bad option, it just says it's extremely bad. Anyway, spare.
I'll spare you, McCallum. I'll offer you the mercy you never offered me.
What is this ruse?
This is no ruse, McCallum. This is me letting you go. After all, you and I are both trying to save this poor country in our own way.
I'll kill you, Reid. Next time we meet, I'll end you.
See? Progress already. You called me by my name. Until the next time. Goodbye, Hunter.
I really like that option. The dialogue, the writing in this is superb. Like the like, see progress already. You called me by my name. Like, that was such a classy response. Ah, man. 1 or 2 more years, and Don't Nod will be able to make a good action RPG with a great story. Because that was the thing. Remember Me had a great story, for the most part, from what I remember. And, I mean, Life is Strange was pretty fantastic, too. So yeah, straight up, we just need, like, a couple more games and it'll be good. I mean, look at the Lords of the Fallen people. They're like... Oh, Science Without Conscience. Reach Doris Fletcher's theater. So they probably planted that bait? Sure, why not? But like, the Lords of the Fallen people, I don't know about Lords of the Fallen 2. I know that's being made, but I can't tell you if it's any good. You can see a man T-posed back there. But I know the Surge 2 looks like it's going to be really good. They've already confirmed that the enemies are going to do less damage, and there's going to be greater enemy variety and stuff like that. And for me, that's really exciting, because I rather liked the Surge one. It was just kind of bad, if only the facial animations were on par with the dialogue. I know. I have low standards with facial animations, though, because, I mean, if Mass Effect Andromeda has my face is feeling tired, then, like, I should not expect really, truly... really, truly, as long as long as we're, like, still kind of a couple years away from, like, full perfect, mocap on faces. I thought he was dead. Then I don't care too much. It would be nice. Don't get me wrong. But it's not something that I'm gonna be, like, heartbroken about. Come on. There we go. Oh! Does the mustard gas get rid of the blood? I didn't think about it, but yeah, it looks like the mustard gas actually bleeds me. But yeah, no, the facial animations absolutely are one of the weakest parts of this game. I'm not bugged by it yet. Now, if this were Naughty Dog and the facial animations were bad, then I care more, I think. Trying to lure that guy into dying. There we go. Yeah, fighting. The fact that those guys can hit me like that is just never fair. I'm like stun locking them and they're like, ah, have fire, and I'm like, oh, come on, really? Ow. God damn. I just want one last nibble from you. Thank you. The new God of War deserved a 10 out of 10. It was really good. Yeah, it was. the new God of War game, like, okay, so that sets a really good standard, but that's like peak Sony, peak Sony Santa Monica specifically. Like that's a studio with a high like a good pedigree and years of experience and pretty much the full force of Sony behind them. So like that game was perfect. I'm judging this game kind of based on the standards that I think it kind of deserves. Which is specifically like, the combat ain't bad, it's clunky. But compared to some action RPGs, this is downright fun sometimes. It's functional. Oh, I'm totally out of juice. There we go. Let's see if I can kill off Lord Sheffield with Rage Mode. There we go. Man, there's not going to be much of the Ascalon Club left when I'm done with this. Let's see. Whereas, like, conversely, there was, Moonlighter that I finished. I put up the final episode a couple days ago. A couple days ago? Yesterday, in fact, I think. And, like, finishing Moonlighter was just a slog. It didn't feel very fun by the end. This game breaks up the, this game breaks up the monotony of its, failings. That could have gone really badly for me. Luckily, it didn't feel like going super stab. But, Moonlighter, on the other hand, was very much like a... Oh yeah, that gets rid of my blood, too. I never took the priest seriously, but no, they nuke your blood values, which makes sense. Let's see, yeah, we're kind of going in the right way. But yeah, Moonlighter had like no kind of break in the monotony. It was just kind of the same the entire way through. And so I've been fully appreciative of, you know, this game kind of having this nice mix between actually engaging dialogue and, reasonably entertaining combat. Part of it is also, I think one of the reasons that makes the dialogue super strong is there is very rarely just a clear, like, good, bad, and snark answer. Or, like, good, bad, and neutral. I don't know.
I'm sure Kaloon Russell has no interest in such a conventional menu.
Oh, fun. So, we really do have to seek out an actual restaurant there. But, you know, there's no just, like, 3 to 5, like, generic options based on whatever personality you're trying to go for. There's no personality meter, there's none of that stuff. I hate the fact that, that Mass Effect kind of pioneered the alignment wheel in dialogue. Because I feel like it cheapened a lot of games. Because games are copycats, like Baseline. This game uses Souls-like combat, but a dialogue system I think is much more Life is Strange. Which is definitely derivative of other things, obviously. But I'm glad that everybody has kind of learned the lesson that it's like, don't just be Mass Effect light, or BioWare light. Because you're not going to get anywhere. The restaurant for the quest is to the right of the park. Oh, same park? I guess we'll just go back to it in a second. I guess I could probably pull up the investigation, maybe see if it, shows up here. Let's see. You. Track that one, see if it's, marked on the map. Oh. This park. Here. Okay, well, that's not nearly as close as I thought it was going to be. Poor Fallout 4 dialogue wheel downgrade. Yeah, Fallout 4 got hit by it pretty bad. That was unfortunate. I also didn't care much for the dialogue in Fallout 4. Fallout 4 was a great base of a game with a very, very poor game. If that makes sense. Like, all the mechanics were there for it to be good, but, like, Boston's performance was terrible. The story was... It didn't commit to itself well enough because it wanted to give you choices, and choices always... I find choices cheapen a game. This game does it kind of well because the story mostly does fine. But I kind of prefer the binary choice system.
So
Undertale.
Crewen never left Doris's theater after they invaded. They must be holding Edgar here in their new headquarters.
Undertale, to beat that dead horse, or living horse, I don't know. Undertale did a really good job with having effectively 2, maybe 3 routes through the game. More or less made it this, like, really satisfying experience through and through. You missed. Still got me in the end, but like, it felt like I was making, kind of a conscious decision fairly early on how I was going to play the game, and it rewarded me with 2 very disparate playthroughs. I never finished the genocide route, but that was one of those where kind of almost the morality system taken to the extreme, and it felt good. Whereas, like, conversely, you had, God of War, which, had no real choices. I don't think you actually had any choices. It was just watching. And I was totally fine with that, because it was really satisfying. The genocide route is freaking depressing. It could never do it. I tried doing it, but, people were so spoiler happy, that I straight up could not continue with the playthrough. What happened to the enemy sound effects? I think I turned them down a little bit, but I mean, it could be a bug. We've already seen that this is not... Oh, shit. I thought he was a statue. This game is not immune to bugs. We already know that one. But yeah, honestly, like, I could never do the genocide route myself. And when it came down to it, I was perfectly happy with the story not going genocide route, if that makes sense. You missed a chest. Did I? Loot generally doesn't interest me that much at this point, I will admit. We're looking for the, we're mainly looking for... Dr. Swansea. There's a sword somewhere. Okay, so where's this chest? Oh, this chest. Huh. I guess the aluminum parts are useful. Alright, so do we have anything else around here? Because, yeah, there's Edgar Swansea. There's this door, but I haven't opened this.
It's locked, all right.
Well, it's like, investigate, and it's like Swansea's downstairs. No. Investigate. How many games are there where you need to play the bad character to get the good ending? I don't know. I guess not exactly in the same vein, but if any of you guys have heard of Nefarious, that's a really charming game. That I guess it kind of had options at the end, but it was just kind of a fun, charming experience. Where you played as the bad guy. I mean, it was kind of like a anti-hero situation. But anti-heroes are fun. Let me see. Yeah, but Fable 3 did, but you could get around it. Yeah, but the Fable 3, like, bad ending, you like, were made to feel bad about it. There's a journal in the theater, on the table in the theater, that gives you a key to the basement. Huh. Okay. Oh, this is... No, this is... Okay. Overlord games have you play as the bad guy. Yeah, but you don't really get the good ending from it. Oh, this journal right here. Nope. Not that journal. Damn it. This journal? Oh, there it is. McCallum's report. 11, let's see. So what, June 11th? No. Yes. June 11th, 1918. I just finished reading Doris Fletcher's journal. As painful and dreadful as it was, my God, the woman planned to see everyone in London afflicted, affecting us all. Inflicting all who had come to her next play. It helped me understand greatly what's going on. Doris Fletcher's real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of some Harriet Jones, who had been treated as a patient for a long time at Pembroke Hospital. Oh. Doris Jones, Harriet Jones, the angry woman. She clearly hated her mother, but used her fame and notoriety to see her while visiting the poor and sick in the East End. I don't know exactly what happened then, but this is how her mother infected her before returning to the theater. Now she turned into that monstrosity that the leech known as Jonathan Reid finally defeated. The presence of that vampire in the same hospital where Harriet Jones was treated can't be a coincidence. I'm convinced he is deeply involved with the vampire plague going on in London right now. I'm also convinced Swansea is his accomplice, and that those two are planning something more terrifying than anything the Guard has ever faced. Maybe I should take some time to read the old books and manuscripts the Guard still possesses to get some answers. It may prove useful. In the meantime, I better send some patrols to investigate what's occurring at Pembroke Hospital. 2 days later. It took me 2 days to parse through the dusty registers and books we keep in the vault. God, I hate losing time like this. The search did prove fruitful for once. I found 2 pages that could be related to our present situation in a copy of William Marshall's memoirs. I took them with me to read more carefully. This creature Marshall says he fought in 1666, this disaster that aimed to destroy London, is very similar to what happened with Doris Fletcher. Disease, infection, hate of the living, a desire to see the city ransacked. I've no doubt that the bloody old leech of William Marshall is behind all this. Oh, the old leech that William Marshall probably fought, maybe? I don't know. And that he is back. Or, no? I don't know. This could be our greatest accomplishment. If the Guard could at least find and destroy that old bastard. I believe what Marshall did in 1666 is exactly what Reid is trying to do. Did the creature, this disaster, escape their will? Is it why Marshall destroyed him in 1666 and Reid did the same with Doris Fletcher before she became such a creature? I don't know. But those two are clearly working together, and Swansea is helping them. I'll immediately give orders to have him arrested and interrogated. As for Reid, I'll destroy that evil beast myself, and then we'll deal with William Marshall and this disaster thing. Prewood will prevail once more. Oh, hello. I wonder if, I wonder if William Marshall is the horned one that keeps visiting us. Also, thanks for the bits, Wispy Hydra.
Fletcher was about to become a disaster. I'm getting close to having all the evidence.
Okay, what else do we have? Nothing terribly interesting around here. What about in here? Nope, nothing. Nothing new. Codeine, shillings. This man. This soon-to-be very dead man. Did he live through it? He lived through it. Impressive. Impressive. Okay, anything else? Lead plate. I assume that other door is just the way
locked.
out. No, it's locked. Oh. Nope, that's bullets. Maybe this door? We've got the safe down
It's
here,
locked, all right.
which is also locked. Oi. Okay. More reading. I'm fine with reading, but it's a lot. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole finally agreed to meet me in London. They proposed to meet inside the new Cathedral of St. Paul. I like the wit and solemnity of these men. What a symbol to choose the place where I defeated this disaster, but also the place where I fell. I agreed to their proposition. There, in the sacred silence of the church and under the eye of God, they respectfully listened to me. They acknowledged my victory against this evil creature, the Deus Astro, the Eater of Stars, only wished to spread death and pestilence all around her. Since they acknowledged my will to save London in 1666, they heard my request, my burning desire to stop the blood of hate. Their primate promised to come back to me with an answer. The primate of St. Paul wrote back to me with just a name, the Tear of Angels. According to him, the ancient artifact could heal anything, cleanse any blackened soul, and purify my blood. Blessed be the Lord. It took me more than 100 years to find a cure for the blood of hate. I may have finally found it. Soon the rage shall end. Soon I may repair the wrong I did, and cleanse my failures. Now all I need to do is retrieve the necessary ingredients and create the artifact. Blood of the purest heart mixed with the blood of a king. To find such rare ingredients is not what worries me the most, for time is on my side. It's the last part that worries me. Pure essence of garlic. I'm afraid it will literally hurt like hell when I drink the antidote. But if that's the price to pay to cleanse my soul and correct my mistakes, I'm ready to endure this excruciating
Blood
pain.
of a pure heart, garlic, blood of a king. I should find the key to that box. Okay,
so there's that. What's the other thing I just got? Pinned note. Evidence safe. Until further notice, the safe will be used to store sensitive evidences. Must always be locked. If you need to access it, just find me on the last floor to get the key. And bloody remember to bring it back to me when you're done. The Vampire Knight. Is this worth making my next story play game? Story-wise, yes. Gameplay-wise, This would definitely be one of those where I would get it on sale. Like, I think this game was sold for, what, 40? I guess 40 isn't so bad, but, 20 to 30 would be a good price point for this game. 40 is, I wouldn't even say pushing it. I personally think it's worth it, but I always have to caution people because I tend to either be very forgiving or very, like, intolerant of games. You already own it. Well then, there's your answer. I would recommend it, personally. Kind of depends what you're going for. If you want the good ending, it's a little tougher. Oh, it's between this and Kingdom Come Deliverance. I believe this is much shorter, but I could be wrong. I heard Kingdom Come Deliverance is quite long. But as far as, like, a specific linear quest line, I think it's good. I don't know. William Marshall, forget the legend about the man. The one most of you ever heard of. Or, the one most of you never heard of, you lazy bastards. Forget the empty tomb in the temple church. Forget the death of those among us who died trying to locate him. We, the guard, know that he's still hiding somewhere. That's the only fact we must keep in mind. Another small detail we need to keep in mind. This little fucker is clever. How many times have we thought we had cornered him, only to find out old dust and cobwebs? Marshall has been a vampire for 1,000 years. We are no match until we change our plans concerning this hunt. So here are a few questions for you, lazy bastards, and I want all of them answered before speaking of another great hunt to pin the leech down. Who helped him escape his den under Temple Church? We know now for a fact that a private contractor was paid to move a large coffin from the church a few years before we investigated the tomb. What exactly did the traitors of the Brotherhood of St. Paul what exactly did the traitors of It's missing some words here, I think. What exactly did the traitors of Brotherhood of St. Paul discuss with the Marshal when they met in 1785 in London? Yeah, it's missing some words there. That's why I'm stumbling really hard. It doesn't help that the text is small, close together, and I have dyslexia. It's easy to read on my own, but trying to read it out loud is kind of hard. So the report of this meeting has been burnt, but witnesses remain of a request by Marshall to access a specific book in the library. Why does this monstrosity known as Lady Blackwood seem linked to Marshall? They exchanged letters. She went in London to meet him in 1786. According to the Brotherhood spies, she tried to discreetly buy his castle in Wales in 1793 before fleeing when spotted by a fearless mentor, Kendall Stone. See the pattern here. What happened during these few years? Why such agitation and activity? Answer these questions, my brothers, and you will find the path to our most eminent foe, William Marshall, oldest vampire of England to survive our righteous wrath. From Know Your Enemies by Carl Eldritch, Pre-Win Leader. Okay, so we gotta go upstairs to get the key. Let's do that quick. Because I don't know what's gonna happen.